happiest day comfortably of my life.
So it sounds like Dusty did a little bit better.
You grab the phone and you hold it about this far away from your ear and you can hear him clearly.
Probably all it for me. I think I'm done, Dust. It's been great knowing everybody, and that'll be it. And we never saw him again.
It is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
He said something to you like, oh, you always good on me, and then you looked at me like, yeah.
One of the funniest stories ever. He woke up.
Okay, BackChat powered by Paywise. I'm very excited to have, I think, probably our first proper backman of the trip.
DOUR operator.
Mitch McGovern, Taylor Duray, both great backmen. Aaron Norton used to play there.
Yeah.
Derm doesn't know what the backline is.
No.
Mike Sheehan doesn't know what a football field is. But we have Ben Miller from the Richmond Football Club joining us, a proper backman.
Yes.
Good to see you, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure. We ask the same question of every guest we have on the podcast first up, right? And look, you've come in uniform. Right?
So good. As soon as I opened the door and saw
much
it,
appreciated.
Yeah, of course.
So you may or may not know this, but we ask people greatest sporting achievement. So we know you've been a great footballer across your journey, and we're going to talk footy soon, especially about your journey in the AFL. But we want to know your greatest sporting achievement thanks to TABtouch, not on the football field. Right, so Dan Const has been fisting since he come out of the womb.
Yeah, fisting a long time. Bowled 5 for 16 under 12s, grand final. Good times. Probably all I got.
Yeah, I'm state back to back. I reckon I won 3 in a row. So 3-peated the flags, under 9, under 10, under 11, Jan Juck Surf Club, state champion.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it is. You got something for us? What other sports do you play?
I played basketball growing up as well.
Because you're tall.
Yeah, which is the only reason, really. Not much talent there.
You were good.
I played cricket, but I gave that away pretty quick.
Fast bowler?
I'd be put in that category, but it wasn't necessarily fast. Like I couldn't spin it, so I can't be a spin bowler.
Medium pace.
Just pace.
Yeah, just a medium, just seeing to the boundary pretty much.
Yeah.
You've got to give us an achievement. Like you might have won athletics, Kalgoorlie High, whatever high school you went to.
Kalgoorlie High. That's so many people say that. Just like, what's Kalgoorlie High like? I was like, we actually have school names. Like it's
more
not
than
just
one
Kalgoorlie
school.
High.
Sorry, I'm not the world's biggest expert on Kalgoorlie primary schools.
Yeah.
It's a great question because you don't really think about the different achievements.
Yes.
Finishing school's a pretty good achievement.
Right.
That's good.
I like it.
I mean, it's not a sporting achievement, but I'd like to think coming from Kalgoorlie, finish school, finish year 12, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I like that too.
I didn't necessarily do well, but
finished.
I've seen all 12 years out.
What was life like growing up in Kalgoorlie? What's a kid in Kalgoorlie look like for you?
It's so hard to explain to people from the city because you don't think it's any different to anyone else's childhood. You think like everyone's just growing up as a kid, but
That's a good point.
like today I'm 8 Ks from here and it took me 25 minutes and I could do 8 Ks in 10 minutes in Cal. Like, so like, everything was super close. But it was just so laid back. Like you just get on your push bike with your mates. I mean, people probably still do that here, but you get on your push bike with your mates and you just ride the whole town. You go from mate's house to mate's house. Obviously, it was in the middle of nowhere. So there's a lot of go out bush on motorbikes and push bikes. And when you eventually got your license, all the boys had big Hiluxes and stuff like that. So yeah, it was just every day or every weekend you're just with your mates. Like you didn't do anything different.
I remember speaking to Sheeta, and I now just have this vision because he said almost exactly the same thing. And I just have this vision of this pack, this gang of kids just rolling around Kalgoorlie.
Yeah.
All the parents at home just having a beer. Like the kids will be back at some point in time. Is that too far from the truth? Or
no, like you'd be going around, there'd be 6 or 7 of you, and all of a sudden you go through town and there's another 8 people walking together, and like they're your mates and stuff, but you just didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's 16 of you rolling around. And you just end up at someone else's house, jumping in the pool, or
brothers or sisters?
One brother, older. He's in Perth now. He lives in Cal. He left when he was 18. Played for Subiaco. Played how many years there? Maybe 4 or 5 years there.
Right, so he could play footy?
He did play footy, yep. Now he's down at the Wembley Magpies.
Unreal. How are they going?
It's a great question. I haven't really dabbled too much into the football side of things with him. Nah, I think they're going all right.
You would have always been striving to sort of do what he was doing, though, if he's a younger.
Yeah.
Like you're the younger brother.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually made this speech because he's got married last year, and I was his best man at his wedding. And like, just as you do, take the piss a little bit. And we always talked about how like competitive you are growing up. We're 18 months apart, so I always talked about how competitive you are growing up. And I brought up the football aspect of things, and I was like, well, like both real competitive in football, but like I guess we know how that turned out. That was probably the best joke of the night.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, grew up pretty much following him, everything he did. He went to Perth, did the exact same thing as what I did. So, yeah.
So Subiaco is the catchment in the waffle for Cal guys. So how does that work to you?
For the Goldfields region.
Sorry, yeah. So do you move up to play waffle or what's that look like?
So what did I do? There's a talent pathway that you go into, and then I think every now and then, like from under 16s or something like that, you go up and you play a week worth of footy up there for Subi. You meet all the boys on a Thursday night training or something like that, and you're playing Saturday with them. And then gradually over time, like if you get invited back, you're lucky enough to get invited back. And my 18s year, I was lucky enough to get invited back. I think I played 4 or 5 games for Subiaco, like continuous weekends in a row, which just consisted of me going up Friday, play Saturday, come back Sunday, go to school all week, and then do the same thing the weekend after.
How far is that drive?
7.5 hours, 7 hours.
So it's not just getting in the car and driving down the footy.
No. It's a good adventure. Yeah, mum and dad. Mum and dad did well to get me there, but if they couldn't come that weekend, got on the train. The train's a little bit longer.
What's it called?
The Prospector.
The Prospector. Yeah.
It's a tough thing to get on. That's probably 8.5 hours.
Yeah,
a little bit slower, and you stop for certain stops along the way. But it was a journey to get to Perth to play every weekend. But I mean, it's worked out. So
well, like you said, like when you're doing that, you're like, well, this is just what you do to play footy, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so I'm sitting here listening and going, geez, that's a bloody good effort. I just go from Geelong to Melbourne, 45-minute trip. But like, you as a kid, you wouldn't have known any different.
Nah, not at all. That's like when we first got to the club and like they introduced you and you say, tell us a bit about yourself, like your footy journey and stuff like that. And I think a lot of the boys are like, 7.5 hours in the car, like that's a long way. When like sometimes you go 2 hours here and the boys complain about it. It's like 2 hours isn't too far.
Yeah.
Have
Like,
you always been a backman?
Juniors, I never played back. I've always been the biggest. So I was in the ruck.
Yeah.
So I've always been the ruck. And then as I slowly moved up, it was a bit of the ruck forward. And it wasn't until I think under 16s, I played my first, the state 16s. I managed to get a spot in the back line there. And then state 18s, I was ruck forward again. So I got drafted as a ruck forward. And as soon as I got to Richmond, I was flicked straight to the back line pretty quick.
So if you make a state team, I assume they probably put you in the position that you used to. How'd you end up? Like, did they just want you on the team and the only spot they had for you was down back?
Yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you how I made my way down there.
It was fate.
Yeah, must have been, yeah. And the 18s didn't see it in me, but glad the Richmond have. But yeah, I'm not sure. I never really played across halfback or in the back line in my 16s, but as I got picked it up, they just said, you go and play centre halfback.
Smart.
I think it was with Norts.
Right.
I think 16s was with Norts across the back line. But yeah, then ever since I got drafted, yeah, lucky enough.
Where's your football personality sit? Like, are you a backman? Like, I mean, on the field, like you're very placid and nice bloke, but on the field, are you a backman?
Yeah.
Bumpy?
Yeah, you've got to find the line between how bumpy you can get because big boys can blow up pretty quick. But yeah, I definitely prefer the back line over. I had a chat because I met Ooze. Obviously, we've only had him for 1 year. And the first time I met him was at a golf day. So we're playing golf and a bit nervous and like new coach, wanted to impress him. Golf's not the way to do it for me, but he just said to me, he's like, where do you see yourself playing your best footy type of thing? And I said, I've played 4 years in the back line and then I've kind of got mucked around going forward and ruck a bit.
Right.
So I was like, I'm happy to head back to the back line. He's like, yep, no worries. More than happy for you to work your craft there and do a whole preseason there and see how you go. And yeah, it's worked out well this year.
So I mean, you've come to a footy club and they probably sit with Geelong, with Brisbane, with Hawthorn as like the premiership dynasty clubs of the last 20, 25 years. What's that like walking in? You get drafted pretty late in 2018.
Yep.
After a flag, and then you're at the footy club straight into a couple of premierships.
Yeah.
What's looking back on that? Like, probably a little while ago now, but
yeah, it was pretty incredible. Like the first day, because we had talent, we had like West Coast players and stuff. They did come to Cal to do country visits or the stuff that we have to do now. But like just being like showing up to the club and seeing 40 AFL players like right in front of your eyes, and I had the likes of Alex Rance, Dave Asprey, Dylan Grimes, Nick Vlosten, Nathan Broad, all those blokes that just played in the premiership, and I like kind of rocked up there. I was like, "Holy shit, this is pretty cool."
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'd like to think I've learnt off the best. Like Alex Rance, one of the best. Dave Asprey, just played his role so well, like never went outside of himself to do anything grand or anything like that. But that's why he played probably in the 2 flags that he did, or 3. Not sure if he played in 2 or 3. I think it might have been 3, but it's probably why he played in the 3 flags, because he just played his role within the team and never went outside of it.
What did you learn from someone like Alex Rance? Like he'll be looked back on as one of the great defenders. What did you used to learn from him?
I mean, he had incredible attributes like fucking fit, strong, powerful, everything. But just I think the intensity he trained with, there was never a main session without like him getting angry at someone or like him having a head knock with someone or something like that, just because he's going so hard because he wants to beat someone. Just the intensity trained, which is probably why it made him an unbelievable defender.
That's good to know. You didn't pull a Rancy and rock up day one and start pulling blokes up because they weren't running through the cones.
I didn't.
You've heard that story.
Yeah, I didn't talk for my first 2 years. I stayed well within my lane.
We asked him about that. He's rolled in. Matty Richardson hasn't run through the cones, and he's telling Richo to get through the cones. Imagine rocking up and doing that to, I don't know, Dusty.
No, wouldn't bother.
Dusty, make sure you get through the cones.
I don't think I talked to Dustin for my first 2 years either. Stayed away from him.
So what was that like? So you're on a side that's having a lot of success, but you're playing in the VFL. Injuries?
First year I was a little bit injured. Like I had a bit of a groin and hip issue. And then second year it kind of carried on, but towards the end of that, I got rid of it or fixed it. And then, I still didn't play for the next 2 years. Really, I didn't play till my 4th year, the last round. So what's that, 2020? Is
that right? So you debuted in the last round of your 4th year?
2021, yep. My 4th year against Hawthorn. Burgoyne's last game. That was a draw.
Wow.
So it was it was a pretty big game to play in because it was his last game and it was a draw afterwards. And I was like, didn't know how to feel because it's like, it's your first game. You're like so excited, but it's like, you haven't lost, you haven't won. So
did you like 4 years a decent time to debut? Like, are you thinking at all in that 4 years you weren't going to get that opportunity or did you have good belief or?
Yeah, it wavers. Like you always think like you have like a good patch of 3 weeks in a row. You're like I might be able to get a game sometime soon. You like talk to your coach, like, yeah, you're doing all the right things, like keep going. But like, you got to get past the likes of Alex Rance, Dave Asprey, Dylan Grimes. Like there's a pretty hard 3 to get through.
And Brody as well.
Brody plays the hybrid. It's a pretty tough 3 to get through, especially coming off the 17 grand final and then the 19 grand final and then the 20 grand final. I was in there like, fucking hell. But yeah, like it's all, I like to think it's put me in good stead now because now I don't count the games. Like you make them count now because you know how hard it was to get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a long and tough 4 years.
Bloody oath.
But wouldn't change it.
What was the call like when you finally got the nod? Was it at training or how did they tell you?
Yeah, it was just like a Thursday afternoon, playing on the Saturday, I think it was. And they just said, who was it? I think Dimmer texted me, said, "You still here?" I was like, "Yep." He's like, "I'll come up to my office." I was like, oh. It's coming towards the last round. I'm out of contract now. Fucking hell, here we go. Shit myself. And then when they used to announce the debutants, they used to have like the head recruiter in there as well, and he just like have his phone on him all the time because like they always used to film me in the corner. And I walked in, I seen him, and I was like,
yeah, right.
Like, don't get ahead of yourself, but it could be
Great.
And then he brought me in and pumped me up as the head coach does, and let me know I was going to debut. And I reckon I went straight from there, straight to my phone, called my family, just in tears as you would be. But yeah, happiest day comfortably of my life.
How'd you go? How'd you go debuting?
That's a great question. I don't think I had many touches.
I don't know. The answer.
I'd love to say I've had 20, but it's not realistic. I reckon I might have had 6 touches, but got the draw, so couldn't put it on me that we lost.
I mean, yeah, correct. Key defend. I mean, we're going to talk about the fact that we've got the BackChat Backman group, which is just sits pride and place in terms of things I've been influencing my life. To be honest, we got one backman from each club. Issues at Carlton, like they're starting to slide out of the 8, and I think we've found why. Jacob Wiedering's not happy he's not in there.
Yeah,
right? He started. There's a bit of infighting with Mitch McGovern.
Yep.
I'm assuming the same thing happens at Richmond with you being involved with the BackChat Backman.
There is. I have let a few of the boys know that
Brody would be disappointed.
Yeah,
as he should be.
Most disappointed, Nick Vlosten.
Is that right?
Yeah. As you should be.
Yeah, as you should be.
He's come up a fair bit in conversation on the pod. We've talked about him. We do give him the props.
It's not like we don't talk about him.
Just not in the group yet.
No, he can. Yeah, he can play the game.
I mean, we won't. I don't know if I could. You're going to give that one. Well, we've spoken about boys that are in this, and we had a bit of an introductory session. Everyone just getting to know each other, and we put nicknames through, and we put strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, the one of the strengths. Your weakness was easy dropping material when things aren't going our way.
Well, it could have been a strength as well. To be honest, that could be a strength if you look at it from a team perspective.
Relate to that.
Oh, mate, we actually share that.
Yeah,
very well.
Yeah.
Most drop player at West Coast.
Yeah,
in the history of the club.
Nothing wrong with that.
How's that? That's a bloody good group. Jokes aside, but sort of, it's very good having boys all over the place.
Yeah, it's good. It's funny to see. Like some people you don't expect, like some of the stuff they wrote in the group chat, you don't expect it to come out.
Yes,
or them to say it, but
to have a personality.
Yeah.
But they're backmen, so we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, we shouldn't be happy, but I've spent numerous hours just laughing at that group chat.
One of the great highlights of my year this year. Prepping for on-air, live broadcast about to go, got Kath on one side, got Pav on the other. I don't know what I'm doing there, to be honest. If we're really honest about how this all operates, TV's about to go on, I don't know what I'm going to say. And I just hear like, BackChat. I'm like, fucking
Is it in Perth?
Well, yeah, mate.
Yeah.
And you boys are, I'm assuming, might have been Freo West Coast. Did you play West Coast?
West Coast. I reckon it was West Coast that game. Yeah.
It's a beautiful day in Perth, and you boys, boys are probably getting everyone together and trying to get a bit of motivation going, game face on, and you and Brody, yes, our BackChat. We love BackChat. And I was like, yes, boys.
Yeah, I remember that.
We bloody love that.
That was good. I said to Brody, I was like, there's Goey. I was like, say it. I was like, BackChat. And remember, you gave us heaps.
Yeah, correct.
Brody loved it.
Producer in my ear going, can we just get back to work here? I was like, look at the boys calling out the podcast, running out. We're about to play a game of footy.
Trying to give it a free plug while you're on there.
Yeah, correct.
Absolutely. So you are a backman, but we've got a goal here. Your 6th game against North Melbourne. Care to explain yourself at all? Or what were you doing up forward? How'd you get that goal?
No, I was off the back line.
Was it?
Yeah, I kicked my first goal from the back line.
Did you?
Yeah.
Which is okay, depending on how it happened. How did it happen? Is that your first goal?
Yeah, it was.
How many goals you kicked? AFL career?
6, I think.
Oh, okay. Look at you go.
It's not too bad. What happened? I think it was just a turnover in the middle of the ground.
Sorry, 9 goals.
9 goals. Yeah.
Sorry.
Calm down. Feel your boots.
And I just took off. I actually think I got burnt twice, and I just continued to go. I was like, I've come this far. Keybacks don't run often, but when we do, we expect to receive the ball.
Yes. Yes, we do.
So it got burnt twice, and I was like, I'll see it through. And then I finally got the handball, and I remember Bakes was in the goal square, and I wasn't necessarily having a shot. Like I was just like, I'll just chuck it on the boot, get it to Bakes in the goal square. And to this day, I still tell him that he almost took my first goal off me because it bounced on the goal square and he threw a hoof at it and he missed it and it went through. And I still tell him that he's a dog because he tried to take my first goal.
Because he would have been squealing for it in the goal square.
Oh yeah, as he does.
We've seen him in the back line, but he's a midfielder.
He's a mid, yeah. He needs to be in there.
Yeah. So if mids are in the goal square, they're squealing for it.
Yeah.
So he's almost stripped you.
He's almost stripped me.
Did the boys know it was your first goal? Because as a backman, like sometimes, you know, whether we like it or not, forwards and mids aren't keeping track of how many goals batsmen kicked.
Not at all.
And especially after being at the footy club for a long time.
Yeah.
Boys wouldn't have even known probably.
It wasn't a hard number to keep like, probably my fourth game. I was like, boys, I've kicked a goal. Come on.
Yeah.
But I actually didn't know if it was still I didn't know if Bakes got a foot to it or not.
Right.
So I never really found out until after the game if he touched it or not. And he was certain that he shepherded it through, but
Yeah.
I've seen the replay and he has thrown a hoof at it. But yeah, the boys got him around me.
Good.
But yeah.
Great.
What's
Sorry, while we're on goals, I'm just seeing
What else have you got?
two kicked against St Kilda.
Last year?
Is that possible? Or is that just two?
Nah, that's not. That's when I was transitioning out of the backline role into the
Game
forward.
20 against St Kilda, 2 goals.
Yeah, that was
Sorry,
my transition. I was transitioning then.
Okay.
I was a bit of a ruck forward at that point. And then I think might have got the boot after that.
Yeah. Okay.
What's it like? You know, speak to guys that are involved in the side, but a part of a squad that wins a flag. I always find it interesting chatting to guys that don't get to play in that premiership. What are your reflections on 19 and 20?
It's like it's one of the coolest things running out onto the oval when the siren goes and seeing the boys because you see how happy they are. But at the same time, it's like at the time it's like, oh, this is unbelievable. Like, we've just won a grand final, but then you might get to the off season, get 4 weeks later, you're like, fuck, imagine if that was me. Like, and then to do it again the next year and not be involved again, and then they win it again, you run out there and you get around them again, you're like, not me again. But yeah, it's tough because like it is what it is. Like you can't change it. I actually hadn't played a game in any of those years anyway, so it's not like I was expecting to be involved in the grand final.
Yes.
And they always talk about like it's not about the 22 that won it, it's about the 44 that got you there. All those boys that played throughout the year, and it's just like didn't play throughout the year.
Well, that's interesting. What do you think on that? Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It is.
Yeah.
Because you play a big part in the
You do, yeah. There's
footy club.
44 of yous or whatever, and you can push each other as far as you can go. You can make each other better, and all that. But when they say it's like about everyone that contributed throughout the year, like you got the team there, you might have played your role for that game, but it's like you didn't play. I didn't play any of those games.
Yes.
So you don't necessarily feel like you've done a whole heap to help the team.
Did you have any VFL success? Because like you boys,
What year did we win it? 19?
Yep.
did you play in that?
Yeah. Was it 19?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep, I played in that one.
Right.
So that was good.
Bloody oath.
That was great.
Flag's
that was
a
my
flag.
second year. Yeah, that was my second year at the club. That was when Marlon first year at the
doubled
club.
up.
Doubled up, yeah. So that was that year. But that was a weird one because we won it because obviously the VFL grand final was a week before.
Yeah.
So we won it on the Sunday and we were like, training's on Monday. Like, we're not going to be sober. Like, we just won a grand final. And they kind of just said, like, celebrate tonight, but be ready Monday to work. Like, because you got to get these boys through the rest of this week. They need to have a good training session.
Yes.
You're like, yep, no worries. So Monday was a bad day. Monday was a dark day for a few individuals.
So Broady told this story?
Oh, yeah.
Someone Alex Rance told this story.
Rance, yeah.
He was...
So,
He was a
because you
ringleader.
boys are at the footy club, right? Didn't you go to the footy club to celebrate?
Yeah.
But then training was there on the Monday morning.
Yeah.
And then potentially celebrations were still ongoing as there were some early comers to training.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yes. I do remember a few select individuals that hadn't been asleep long or sleeping at the club.
Yeah, I did.
Rancy was actually the ringleader of it all because that's the year he did his ACL.
He did admit to that.
Yeah.
So he was a ringleader.
So yeah, so we're up just having a good time after the game up in the top bar area at the club, and he just said like, "Let's go hard," but he's like, "I'll take responsibility for anything."
He's in a leadership group at this stage.
Absolutely, he is well and truly.
Great.
So he put his hand up. He said, "I'll take responsibility for anything that happens, but like, just make sure we show up Monday." He's like, "You guys can do whatever you want tonight. Just show up Monday." So a few of the boys decided to sleep at the club that night, which is fair, smart. So you can't miss a meeting, really.
Difficult to miss it if you're in the room.
Oh, and I remember because Dimmer was at the club at 5 a.m. every day, doing his workout in the gym, do some CrossFit downstairs or something like that. And Patrick Naish was just wrapped up his night probably 2 hours prior and was asleep just in the gym, just on a mat.
Should have been bench press, Naishi.
Yeah, just on a mat. And I remember one of the funniest stories ever, he woke up and like, obviously still probably a little bit pissed or anything. So he heard someone walking towards him in the gym because like the ground you walked on was loud, and he's like trying to open his eyes, but he couldn't quite figure out who it was until Dimmer got this close to him. And I'm pretty sure, I can't remember exactly what it said, but Dimmer's like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, get up and get out.
Because they've got a flag to go and win that one.
Yeah. So Dimmer was on a mission. So I'm pretty sure Naishi went straight to the showers at about 5 a.m. and sat in the shower for about an hour and a half, trying to gather his thoughts together.
Considering his life.
Yeah, pretty much
general.
considering if he's going to have a contract again.
Yes.
But yeah, that was probably one of the funniest stories to come out of it on Monday morning.
Bloody hell, that's good.
I can't imagine him saying to Dimmer, Alex said it's all good.
Yeah.
He said, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you're going to throw someone under the bus, so you throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
What was Dimmer like as a coach?
He's a great coach. Like he's done it for a very long time. He's figured out what works for him, and it was hard coming in after the 17 grand final. Like he obviously had his team that he had success with, and it might have been hard for him to venture outside of that team. Even when you think like, oh, he's had a shit game, like maybe I can play, but then he just backs him in again this week, and then they play a good game. You're like, now they're not going to get dropped for a couple of weeks, type of thing.
Yes.
But like great coach, very intense. I think like there was fear with him. Like you didn't want to fuck up. No one wants to fuck up, but
yes.
You didn't want to stuff up or anything like that. But yeah, he was a very intimidating coach.
Right.
I think.
And is it Adam Uze? How's that different?
Uze's probably a bit. He's actually probably a lot more relaxed than what Dimmer is. I don't know. It's different when you been at the club and then he comes to the club and you feel like he's probably a little bit more approachable than what Dimmer was. Yeah. But Uze's a great coach. Like, obviously, we haven't had the success this year that we've wanted to, and it's not through fault of his. We've had a lot of things that have happened this year that haven't gone our way. But, yeah, he's a great guy. The boys love playing for him. He'll just eventually find his way sometime soon, and hopefully we can get a few more wins on his record for him.
Correct.
Was there anything in the first time you guys played Gold Coast with Dimmer being the coach? Was that talked about at all?
I didn't play that game, but I think the boys were just like, let's just get out there and smash them type of thing. Just like, obviously, the boys had a lot to do with Dimmer. He was at the club for a long time, and that was all the boys knew that was his only coach. And then when he left, the boys were like, everyone was flat and pissed off, and as you would be. But then they were like, let's get up there and smash him. Like,
Yeah.
almost to be like, you left us, you've gone to a new team, but like, let's smash him. Which
It's not like a player who's on the ground that you can go like give a bit to.
yeah,
He's up there, so the only thing you can do is beat them.
yeah. The only thing you do is beat his team. But we didn't win, which probably backfired a little bit. But yeah, I think that might have been the consensus around it all. Really.
No Ben Miller in the side. That's probably the issue.
That's true.
I think we found that issue.
I think so.
Did any good sprays from like key back
From Dimmer or
yeah, or witnessed any?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think he really gave any sprays necessarily to the key backs or anything. Like he gave a few good team sprays.
Yes.
But he never really individualised, like if you're in the back line or your forward line.
Well, that's positive.
Yeah. like I've been on the phone call when he says like, come on, try a bit fucking harder. He's like, I'm trying, like I am.
Is that something, mate, when you run into the bench, and I always used to love it, and like usually getting on the phone, you speak to your assistant coach.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is for you.
Ben Rutten.
Yeah. And so Truck wants to speak to you and you get on and you'll just be very like, you know, straight down the line, matchups, how you're moving the footy, whatever it is, how they're moving the footy.
Yeah.
But if you ever come to the bench and like Dimmer wants to speak to you,
Yeah.
it's never a good thing.
Nah.
The head coach doesn't want to speak to the
There's
key
nothing
backs.
positive to come out of that.
No.
Not at all.
The head coach doesn't get on the phone speaking to the key backs.
Yeah.
It's like, get the job done.
Yeah. You grab the phone and you hold it about this far away from your ear and you can hear him clearly. There's just no need to put it all the way up to your ear. But yeah, I was lucky. I wasn't really on the receiving end of anything bad.
Talk us through what some of your teammates are like out in the field. So, as we know, the backs are the heartbeat of the entire football industry, let alone football club.
Yep.
Tell me about some of your backs. You know, what sort of characters are there down there?
I mean, I'll start with Noah Bolter.
Great. I'm interested to know what sort of operation he's running.
I don't think he does. I don't even think he knows. Like you could get him on any given week, and he could be completely dialed in, or he's gone. Like he's a seriously weird operator.
Great.
Unbelievable bloke. Like
Good football player too.
very good footballer. Has all the attributes, but just I think his ability to focus sometimes can just drift, which is probably what hurts him.
Yes. And then the next minute he'll be having 10 bounces down the wing.
Yeah, and then he will be straight to the bench because he'll be sucking them in. He's probably the funniest to play with because you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get from him. But then like you standard like Nick Vlauston goes about his job week in, week out.
Just Mr. Consistency.
Yeah, knows
Role
all
player.
across all structures. Just one of the smartest I've played with comfortably.
Yes. That might be a big reason why he's not in the BackChat backman group. He may be too smart.
Too smart.
He may be too smart. Fair.
He does have a childish side to him.
Okay.
Don't underestimate him.
Brody?
Can work. He can run.
Right. Yes.
He's probably our biggest gut runner in. Oh, he's probably top 5 at the club.
Right.
Definitely top 1 in the back line.
Yeah.
But yeah, just works. Knows his role. Goes about his role.
Who's going at opposition players and or umpires just with some feedback or just some questioning as to why that free kick was paid? Is that you?
Nah. I would. I do. But I'm certainly Nick Vlauston couldn't be any further from friends with umpires. Like I've never seen a man hate umpires more.
Never a right call.
Nah, never. Like we come in Monday and we've been doing like a lot of the mental side of things lately and talk about the stuff that's like what caught you distraction, like what distracted you throughout the game. And like everyone goes around and you say like loss of contest or balls coming in and you get to Nick and he goes, fucking umpires. It's just same stuff every week. And he knows it. He knows it. He goes talks to the umpires pre-game and he's like, I reckon we'll get a few today.
Hey, he preloads them a little bit.
Yeah, but I think it's a detriment to him because he just gets more paid against him.
Isn't that a strange thing? I'm assuming they still do it. Maybe it got lost with COVID, but the umpires sort of coming through and having a chat pre-game. Does that still happen?
No.
That used to happen.
What, in the rooms or?
Yeah, they used to come through and shake everyone's hand. And like it used to be good.
Yeah.
But as a backman, you're like, get to the stage where just like, look, hey, mate, it's great to see you, but I'm not going to be mates with you for the next 3 years.
You're not going to give me one free kick.
Yeah, we know what this is about. Like,
yeah. You're here to talk to our forwards and that's about it.
Yeah, correct.
They don't do that anymore, or I haven't seen them for a very long time.
Okay.
But yeah, they're an ongoing subject.
And what about forwards in your side that you just either one would love to see in the back line, but two, you don't want a bar of, or may just lose the ability to function as a footballer once they get past halfway? Like, is there someone like I don't see Tom Lynch down there too often.
Oh,
got to be honest.
No,
and he's too good as a forward. That's why.
Yeah. You're not putting the Rolls Royce in the back line.
Jack Rewalt.
Yeah,
didn't see him down there back.
Not going to happen. Dustin.
I don't see Dusty in the back line.
Great career, but you're not seeing him off halfback.
No.
Cheers, Dusty. Thanks for the career, mate. Would have been nice to see you in the back line a few times.
Anyone in the forward line? Ryan Mansell was a back.
Good.
Like, he did play back line,
So
and
he
he
gets it.
and a great back.
So he gets it.
Yeah, and a great back. But now he's in the forward line.
Yes.
But you could definitely rely on him to return to the back line and do his job.
All right. I'm going to start watching him as a forward now.
Yep. Anyone that you just couldn't have in the back line? Shea Bolton. Probably can't put him in the back line. Like, there's not enough people to dance around and kick a goal in the back line.
Yeah, it's too flashy.
I was surprised when Dan Rioli started playing back there because I thought he was that sort of operator as well, but he's very good. He's a backman.
He is incredible.
He's a backman. He's a gun.
After his game on the weekend as well.
Yeah.
Just there's absolutely no doubt he's a backman.
Yes.
But put him up forward and he'll do the exact same thing for you as well.
Give us something about Dusty that we haven't heard.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard anything from Dusty. He doesn't do media, which is great. I like it. I respect it. But give us doesn't have to be naughty, but just like something about Dusty that we wouldn't know, or maybe people wouldn't know, or a story, or give us some insight into it. Because I mean, what a champion! Like, what an absolute gun, big game player.
And did he get in front of everyone and like give a retirement speech?
That's a good question.
He did roll. When was that? Last week? 2 weeks ago? I'm not sure.
You were there. We weren't there.
I was there. I'm not sure when it was though.
You were there in body. What?
He just rocked up like casual clothes. Usually when people retire, I don't know what it's like at other clubs, but like you could walk in and you'd see their family sitting at the back, whether they have kids or not, or anything like that, and you're like, oh, like then it kind of drops and it's like, yeah, that's happening. But it was just like a normal team meeting. Like the coaches were in there that had to be in there. Everyone's in there that's usually in there, and then he just rolled up and just like his casual clothes, and just said like kind of stood up the front and said it would have been 3 minutes long.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And just said like this is all he's got to give. He's gonna finish up today, and like you never expected anything big piece of paper of him thanking everyone.
Jack Walt, bit of carry on probably.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, does what he always does. Keeps it short, keeps it sweet. Just went around to everyone individually afterwards and said like I'll say my thank yous to everyone individually.
That's cool.
I'm not going to make it a big hoo-ha about me retiring today, which is, it's weird because you'd think 300 games and like you're a pretty important person.
But that's how he
operated.
Right?
Yeah. He was a no fuss type of guy. Never liked the cameras, as everyone knows. But did it his way, and he was happy. He was more than happy with how he did it, which good on him.
I want another story about Dusty, and I'll give you some time to think about it. I remember you just made me think of Daniel Chick at the.
Right.
We got knocked out of finals. Must have been must have been 07 or 08, and finished the game, lost the game. I wasn't playing. I was a very young player. Must have been 07. Must have been a year after the flag. All the boys had come out. The coaches have spoken, the CEO has spoken, half the team's left, no one else in there. I was just in there like chatting to one of the boys. There was probably 14 of us in there. Half of them hadn't played the game. Chicky stood up, cleared his throat. He'd been hit in the throat, so he was speaking. He's like, boys, that's probably all it for me. I think I'm done and dusted. It's been great knowing everybody, and that'll be it. And we never saw him again. We never saw Chicky again. And that was his retirement speech. So it sounds like Dusty did a little bit better. I want a story about Dusty. And again, like, it doesn't have to be off the field, on the field. Give me something, Benjamin.
Oh, there's just so many. Just that's how many you can tell or you can get away with without just hurting him.
Was he? I always wondered whether he was like, you boys went on footy trips, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So what sort of operator was he on footy trips? And I'll give you some options. So was he a organizer? Was he making sure all the boys were at the right spot? Those sorts of guys, or was he just a sort of a team player, always there, and he was last to leave? Or was he a go hard, carry on like a pork chop, make a fool of himself and get carried out? Or was he saw him for a bit and then never saw him for the rest of the night? What?
Nah, he wasn't
Team,
not necessarily an organizer, but he's first there. He was always first at.
Great. So he's an enforcer.
He was, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, enforcer. But he was a stayer. Like,
Great.
He wouldn't disappear throughout the night.
Great.
You'd see him with the group the whole night.
Great.
And he'd let you know if you've been shit that night.
Yeah, so my favourite type of footy trip, like enforcer, like doesn't need to organise and everything. Like that's for the lad, be just there. And if Dusty's there, you're probably going to be there too.
Yeah, you have to be there.
Great.
Well, and if you haven't performed, he'd let you know.
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
Right.
Or you'd show up and he'd just have some sort of cruiser or Smirnoff Black. He's like, here, do this.
Quinton Lynch. This is Quinton Lynch.
Yeah.
Same operators.
Yeah. It was similar to Mad Monday just gone. I remember talking to him only a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, fuck, you were good last year on Mad Monday. Like, you were great. He goes, mate, I rocked up to that day thinking, like, I'm not going to, like, I'll drink with the boys, but I'm not going to have a big one. And, like, 2 hours in, for some reason, like, every 10 minutes, he was just, like, order, like, a round of cruisers, and, like, he'd just stand up, and then everyone would neck one. You're like, oh. Like, just no speech, nothing, just like, here you go, let's do this. And then 10 minutes later, all of a sudden there's like another tray of cruisers there.
Right.
And if he gives you one, you're not passing it off. No. Like, you're saying yes.
Yeah.
When Dustin Martin gives you a cruiser, you have to drink it.
Yeah, you're seeing it. You're seeing it through.
Yeah.
And he had a big night that night. he had a great day.
What's it like if you're out and about in public with him? People just, because he's very recognisable, and obviously in Melbourne he would just be adored by fans.
Yeah.
Is he that sort of guy people come up to him a lot?
Yeah, he is. Like, he likes to put his hoodie on and stuff like that and walk around and try and go under the radar, but like he's easy to spot.
Yeah.
Especially if he wears shorts or something like that. You can see all his tattoos on his legs, and but like someone stops him and say, like, can I get a photo? He's like, yeah, no worries. Like, he would take 100 photos on the way to the game every weekend. Like, he would never say no to anyone. But yeah, like, I think if you went to a cafe or something like that, or if you're like, let's go get a coffee, like, you go get a takeaway coffee and then go somewhere else, because he's just not worth sitting down in a cafe and him having to take a photo every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He just wants to enjoy his coffee.
Yeah.
Last one from me on Dusty. What do you know why he was hanging out with? Like, how was he hanging out with Serena Williams?
That is a rogue question.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that.
I just remember there was like a video of it was like Serena Williams and like an NBA player. It's like Dustin.
They're on holiday together, mate. They were
just hanging out.
Incredible.
How do you make those contacts? It just seems
big dog.
Yeah. Big dog. Once again, it just doesn't add up, really. Like, two things that shouldn't go together: Serena Williams and Dustin. Like, two opposite sides of the world, and both big players, but she's obviously a lot bigger than what he is. Somehow he's found himself with her.
Mate, how many games have you played now? So you played 44 games. You're still very young in footy terms, 24 years old.
Yep.
You're a dad.
Yep.
How did becoming a dad that change your outlook on footy, life, new perspective?
Yeah. When did I was 21 when I found out. And at the time I was kind of like, oh shit, like, I'm way too young to be a dad. And probably took me a while to come to terms with it. Thinking just like, all I'm thinking is like, I'm away from home, I'm way too young. Like, footy, I got footy. Footy's a big part.
Yeah.
It's pretty hectic. But eventually come to terms with it, and it's one of the best. It is the best thing that's ever happened to me comfortably. Like, being a dad's pretty special.
Yeah.
And just like you said, the perspective it has on games after you lose a game. You could lose by 100 points, come in, be absolutely ropeable, and you see your kid there that doesn't know any difference. He's got his little Tiger Guernsey on, and he walks in and gives you a kiss, gives you a hug, and just you couldn't care less about the game after that. Everything falls away.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's special. It is really special. I think, to be able to play, and him to be able to see me play. I really enjoy that side of things.
Bloody oath.
He gets to grow up and see what I do.
Yeah.
Which, like, a lot of other people don't have kids, so say 28, 29, 30.
Yeah.
And you might finish your career by then. Your kid doesn't remember any of it, or only a little bit of it. But hopefully I'm 24. If I play for another six-ish years, like, he'll be 8 and he'll be able to remember so much of what happened, and how he grew up. And
Mate, just do a Dustin Fletcher, play for another 16. You can play with your son.
yeah, true. That'd be scary. I don't think I'd be moving that well.
40-year-old player around for Richmond.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. But yeah, it's the best thing that's ever happened having kids, I think, especially at a young age. Like, you always think it's going to be hard, but you find a way and you get through, and it's nothing better.
Well, ever since you've had a kid, and you've got 2 now.
Got 2, yeah.
You've been playing more in the side. So 11 games in 2022, 13 in 2023, and you're 19 this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it must. I mean, it must be a thing.
It's good.
Dad strength.
Yeah. A lot of the boys address that. They think a bit of dad strength and hearing that there. But, yeah, it must. Good luck, charm.
You go okay over here. You wouldn't have a lot of family support in that regard, but it looks like Richmond's a pretty tight football club.
Yeah, Richmond's really good. They've obviously been through it with a lot of players. They got the Rewalts, had the Cotchins, Sean Grigg had 2 boys. I'm sure there's plenty of people before that had kids as well. They're the only ones I played with. Marlon's got kids, Brody, Shay. But yeah, they're super accommodating. I think Ooze might have had one of his boys when he was playing.
So he gets it.
So yeah, I think he understands. First thing he said to me once he realised I had a kid and stuff, he's like, "You need a day off. You need a week off. You just take it. Like, footy's footy. Like, it'll always be there to come back to. But like, be a dad first. Look after your family." But yeah, it's been really good.
That's good advice.
Talk to us about some of the forwards that you match up on. Who are the toughest ones? Who you not looking for? Who do you not look forward to play?
Who's your bunny? No, don't tell us that, because then you'll play next time. I only revealed my bunny after I finished.
Yeah. Who?
Ben Brown.
Ben Brown.
He knows it too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He knows it. He knew it. He saw me at a gather round. He told me. He told me. He knew. Well, it's just unfortunate. Don't worry. I was plenty of
I think he said
favourite defender player.
Yeah. He said something to you like, "Oh, you're always good on me," and then you looked at me like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Where you did your best work.
Yeah. But if I bumped into Buddy Franklin, he's not starting with that.
No, not at
So
all.
I kicked 8 goals on you in round 1 off to start him. Yes, buddy.
And I got dropped. Yep.
Yeah, correct. So like, you would have played on some bloody good players.
I've played on, I think especially this year, because I've played such a consistent year. I've managed to match up on a lot of the good key forwards. Like Charlie Curnow, probably the best key forward I've had to play on this year.
Gun.
Yeah, really good. Jake Waterman.
How'd you find him? Delouche? What was he good at?
His movement, like, obviously incredible runner.
Work rate, isn't it?
Yeah, work rate, works up the ground, which is certainly not my strength. So they said, "You go to Waterman." I was like, unreal.
Can I hand him over to the midfield?
Yeah, someone else take him.
Well, Dion, your man.
anyone but me. So yeah, he kicked 5. I think he kicked 5 in that West Coast game, maybe 6.
Not all on you. Or was that?
I might have copped 3. I may have all 3 of them.
It's a team game. We play on everybody.
I'm looking for people to drop off, and no one's doing it. Curnow. I played on Larky 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Me and Noah flicked between him throughout the day. He's an incredible player as well. Jesse Hogan, couple more weeks ago.
So you name the top 5 in the Coleman. That's top 5.
Yeah. And they've probably all kicked 3 on me.
No, don't undersell yourself.
But it's a team sport, so.
Well, midfield's not making it any easier.
Yeah, absolutely. I bet come back, jump in the hole.
Too much delivery.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard to get it going our way, is it?
Put some pressure on, get some field position.
Just get a dump kick. That's all I'm asking for. It's a dump kick.
That's very good.
But yes, I've played on some good players this year.
Jake Waterman to train on. He's always been that guy, by the way. People don't realise that, but the work rate you copped, like, every preseason for like 7 years. And he was younger. So he was better. He was even fitter than he is now.
Yeah.
And just like, he just couldn't put the marking together, Jakey, but now he's sort of added that piece to his play. He's like superstar. And then JK's he's gone.
Yeah.
Like gun.
Get more opportunity.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Mate, I reckon we can probably finish it up there. To finish off with, we will do some social media. No, not social.
Social, yeah.
We put the questions out to the fans and they get to ask you a few ones. So what do you got for us, Daniel?
A couple of good ones here. Both from the same guy.
Thank you, Cam.
Must be big
Cam Grace.
Cam Grace. Will he be keeping the 46 for the foreseeable future? As a proud Ben Miller badge owner, the 46 has become iconic.
Wow. That's impressive.
I've always thought I'd keep 46 just because the way I look at it is that only, say, 100 people get drafted every year and so many miss out. And that was the first number I got given. That was a debut number and all that. So it's a pretty special number. But we're at a point in the team at the moment where all our high numbers are taken. So if we get draft picks, they're all going to low numbers. So we kind of need to get rid of some high numbers and like get some people to change to lower numbers. So I've been put under a bit of pressure this year to change numbers.
Had a chat with Dusty about his number.
I haven't come across that bridge yet. I don't think I will.
Excuse me, Dustin.
Yeah, I don't think I'll address that.
That would be brilliant. Just Dustin Martin hounding off to
there's
bloody
just way
Brewing
too
Backman.
much. Yeah, there's just way too much
You don't
pressure on
want
that.
You know what number is? I'm having a mental blank. What number is he? 4? So he's number 4.
He's 4, yeah.
Someone needs to just get that at least on video. You like just hidden camera or something. You got up to Dustin and say, hey, man, I'd really love your number. Would you?
He'd say yes. He'd do it in a heartbeat. He wouldn't care. He'd say, yep, no worries, but you're putting too much pressure on yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no one doing that.
I think, if you want my opinion, which I'm sure you don't, 46, I think that's you, mate.
It's the perfect backman number.
Yeah, I was 31. Like 31's a little bit lower than 46, but like 46 good number.
Yeah, I've had a few options thrown to me
What
this year.
Are you allowed to say what or not?
I'm assuming so. Yeah, 12.
Yep.
Which was Dave Asprey's number.
Yes.
Backman, honest backman.
That's enticing.
But also, if you go a little bit further into the past, Richo.
Oh, right.
Just a real tough number to back up.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I'm not sure you want that, hey?
I don't think I do. And
because then you've got like people our age and a bit older with like Richo jumpers that are now got the Ben Miller jumpers.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, who is this 12?
This influx of Ben Miller jumpers at the game.
There's 8 and 9 available, Rewalt and Koch, but I'm not going anywhere near.
So there's some property available.
Oh yeah,
4, 8, 9, 12.
Absolutely. Yep. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but
46.
Yeah, it'll be an off season.
Well, Cam wants you to keep 46, so
yeah. I mean, I'll do it for him then.
Yeah. Another one from Cam. Who do you think are the future defensive 6 of the Richmond Footy Club, including yourself?
Defensive 6.
I saw. I don't know if you call him Gibbo, but Gibgus.
Yep.
He re-signed.
He re-signed. Yep. He can play footy.
Yeah.
He can seriously play footy. He's had a horrid run the last 2 years with his hamstring and the ACL.
Yeah.
But you get him fit, healthy, he can play.
So Gibcus and Miller, there's your key positions.
Daniel Rioli.
Gun.
Hard to get rid of him. Nick Vlauston.
Yes.
Yep, can't get rid of him. What's that for? Jeez, it's a tough 6. You don't want to leave anyone out, do you?
No. Well, give us some like prospects, maybe some young fellas coming through that you like the look of.
Tom Brown. You see Tom Brown play a bit in the back line?
Oh, Brownie. Boy, the leg on him.
One of the best slippers in the
The leg on him is unbelievable. There's a social media account. I don't know. Have you seen that? It just like basically goes through all his kicks every week. Who said that? Do the boys know about this?
Just chisels?
Mate, he is a gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's there.
Incredible. Yeah, but also been playing forward the last couple of weeks.
Don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Get him back.
Don't like it at all.
We don't need that.
No.
So I'm going to put him in there.
Great.
Jimmy Dresice has played the last couple of weeks with us. He's played a couple of really good games.
Great.
Then you've still got Brody, you got Shorty, you got some talent that you can't leave out.
No.
And then you got Bolter, whether or not you play him up forward, you play him down back. Incredible interceptor, but also just rogue.
Sounds like a forward to me. He sounds like an angry backman as well. I like him both.
Do you know what? I think
the swingman.
I think we talked about
Adam
him
Hunter.
very early in the season about backing him in as maybe the backman.
And they put him forward.
They
started playing him at full forward.
Goals.
Yeah.
We're like, we can't have this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam lost his way a little bit. And I mean, Uze just started playing him as a full forward and we had to clip him. I think we clipped him.
We clipped him because he kept kicking
For
too many
you.
goals.
He was dropped for you.
Yeah.
As a BackChat backman.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
So that's what we will finish with, and I'll put my question into social media. The Jack Buckley Medal, the BackChat Backman of the Year. I'm assuming,
Yep.
That's Premiership, Brownlow, Norm Smith.
Any highly sought after.
Yep.
Right. So we've got our award ceremony happening Brownlow night.
Yep.
Can we
Brownlow night.
Yeah. Well, like Brownlow night. It's Jack Buckley Medal night.
Yeah.
And the Brownlow will be happening. So we've got a live show happening at the Leadville Hotel. we'd love to have you involved in some way. Now, I'm not going to say we're going to fly you over because we're not, but if you are around,
honest.
but if you're, I'll tell you what, if you're in town, you're definitely coming down.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to. What date?
Monday before the grand final.
23rd. I think, yeah.
We get back from footy trip that day, but I'll see.
Okay, straight in.
I'll see what I can do it with.
Last, we did it last year. Yeah, it's quite a large night.
Yeah.
So it might be a good time to wind down from the footy trip.
Yeah, it might be.
But the Jack Buckley medal must mean like you got votes this year.
I did.
You got dropped the week after you got votes.
Did I really?
Yeah, and there was like a run of 2 or 3 weeks in a row where we gave votes to someone and that person got dropped.
That hurts.
Does that feel correct?
Is that on you? Is that on me?
I think it's on you.
It's on me. Okay. I'll wear it. If I have
Could
to
be
wear
on
it,
us.
What round was that?
I'm not sure.
That was
maybe you got
Port
injured.
Adelaide.
Maybe. Did you get dropped this year?
It was Port Adelaide.
Oh, maybe.
Did you get dropped?
Or maybe you even got injured or something.
No, I didn't get
3, 4, 5, 6.
No, I didn't get.
Maybe I'm remembering wrong.
Round 2, I think it was.
Definitely got votes.
Oh, so round 6.
Bye.
Round 6, we played West Coast. Then round 8, you played Melbourne. So there was a game in between 6 and 8. It could have been round 6 that you got votes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What did you do round 7?
We have a bye. We have the early bye because we played opening round.
Definitely got dropped, but you got bye.
Maybe I got dropped.
Well, we hope to see you at the Jack Buckley medal. We finish off with a question as well from the Eggman.
How do you like your eggs?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
I'm going to go poached.
Good.
Poached, yeah. Solid.
Yeah.
I like a good runny egg. Scrambled is a great option because you can get away with probably a few more eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volume,
Feels like you're getting more.
a bit better.
Yeah, I'm a big volume man.
I
But I'll stay with poached.
BackChat _ is our Instagram. You know that. BackChatstudios.com.au. A big thanks to our sponsors, Paywise, ID Athletic, Whippersnapper Whisky, Mamba Digital, TABtouch, Shelter Brewing Co, Camera Electronic, and the Leaderville Precinct. Ben Miller, thanks for joining us. Did you have fun?
Absolutely. Couldn't think of a better place to be.
Good luck for the rest of the year. Good luck on dad duties, and looking forward to watching your career from here, mate.
Thank you very much.